In this training video, we will define quality assurance, including the basic SUSTAiN's process. SUSTAiN's stands for SUSTAiN's Introduction to Quality Assurance, and we will cover how voluntary organisations can implement this training programme. So, what does quality mean? Quality is about improving the way your organisation is run and improves the services the organisation provides. A quality assurance system is a formal management process you can use to strengthen your organisation. It is intended to raise the standards of work and make sure that everything is consistent. It is important to understand quality assurance because then you can see why it is such a good investment. Quality assurance improves effectiveness and efficiency, increases user, staff and volunteer satisfaction, develops consistency, prevents errors through better systems and methods, sets improvement targets and measurements, demonstrates the value of your service to funders. There are key questions to ask about quality which will get you thinking along the right lines. What is it you want to achieve? How are you going to know you have achieved it? What information do you collect and what do you do with it? Do you think you are as good as you can be, and how do you know? SUSTAiN's is SUSTAiN's Introduction to Quality Assurance and has been specifically designed for the voluntary and community sector. SUSTAiN's is an organisation health check. Simply look at the evidence that is required to meet the standard and circle against the measure where your organisation is at. SUSTAiN's can provide you with help implementing this within your organisation, along with half-days mentoring. SUSTAiN's is suitable for small or medium projects and voluntary community groups. It is also suitable for organisations run solely by volunteers. The benefits of using SUSTAiN's are twofold. Firstly, for the organisation, it assesses performance against clear measures and ensures continuous improvement. It demonstrates a quality service to funders and improves management systems and organisational planning. Communication is improved within the organisation, both up and down the hierarchy, creating a positive working atmosphere and a sense of well-being and involvement. Secondly, benefits for the users. It helps users know what service they can expect and improves the opportunities for user feedback, which results in the improvement of services. It creates opportunities for user involvement, which ensures a user-centred culture is supported. The SUSTAiN's process includes the following 9 areas: purpose, standards and values, managing yourself, involving users and community, communication, working together, equality and inclusion, reviewing your work, and managing finances. It is important that each step is completed thoroughly, as each step builds on the other. The more time and effort spent on the previous area, the better the next will be. This is a self-assessment process which the organisation carries out internally. It involves a group of people coming together and deciding where your organisation's performance is against the listed measures. You can identify what you are doing well and where your strengths are, as well as identifying where you need to improve. Remember that the self-assessment is not a one-off process. It is something that can be done in your own time and at your own pace, although it is important to maintain momentum. SUSTAiN's is evidence-based, and you need to have a record to show that you are meeting the required standard. Your evidence does not always have to be in a quality assessment folder. It could be stored on your computer or in your everyday project files. Make sure you think about the right evidence that demonstrates that you are meeting a required standard. And remember, all evidence needs to be consistent, accessible, recent and dated, which it might help to remember as CARD. You need to write clear and accurate action plans to implement the changes. These could cover what, why, when, how and who, or you can use the SMART principle: specific, measurable, achievable, resourced and time-bound. Of course, you could also adopt your own approach. Here are some tips for your action plan. When you have identified your task, make sure you are specific. Choose which person is responsible for completing the task. Keep a written record of action to be taken and by whom. Make sure that your dates for completion are realistic. Don't take on too much too quickly. The implementation cycle is straightforward, starting with the initial self-assessment, and following this approach will keep you on track. Planning is important and should be structured. You need to consider how you are going to introduce the process to staff, volunteers and trustees. Are you going to need any resources? When will your initial self-assessment take place and who will be involved? Who is going to be the seeker lead? What order are you going to undertake each of the quality areas? Are you going to tackle something quite complex initially, or complete a few of the easier areas which you are already doing quite well in? Various materials have been provided with this video and will help you with planning and monitoring your overall progress, recording your evidence, developing action plans, and developing an overall plan and printing data in different formats. This planning triangle clearly sets out what you should be striving to achieve. Firstly, it is imperative to identify the aim of your organisation. What you are trying to achieve are your outcomes. Underneath everything are the activities that are carried out, and this is where you need to ensure that efficient systems are in place to make sure that the organisational aim is in sight.
As a funder, we look at whether an organisation can manage our funding as well as other funding that it may be given. Having a system in place where the organisation can actually pinpoint what they are doing gives us confidence when looking at monitoring and evaluation. It also provides us with a system which we can then check if should an auditor require it. Therefore, I urge all organisations to achieve some form of quality mark, because it will give us the confidence as a funder, not just for our funding, but for the funders as well.
In conclusion, we have discussed the basics in implementing the seeker system, and here are 5 simple steps to get you started. Understand the seeker process and choose your seeker lead. Sit down and devise a plan and carry out initial self-assessment. Ensure that your self-assessment is evidence-based. Make sure it's card. Devise your action plan and begin improvements within your organisation. Maintain the momentum of seeker until all measures are fully met. It is not a complicated process and there are no time constraints. You can work at your own pace. In the end, a well-constructed quality programme is worth the effort, which must include the completion of all 9 quality areas. In addition to Seeker, there are 3 alternate quality assurance tools which you might find more suited to your organisation. Solihull's VIP programme is an organisational toolkit which has been shaped by local groups in the borough. Quality First has been developed by Birmingham Voluntary Services Council for organisations and groups run solely by volunteers. Picasso is the most extensive system, as well as being the most widely used and recognised in the UK voluntary sector. The other 3 tools are a good starting point for working towards Picasso accreditation. Thank you for watching this training video on quality assurance.